Hey everybody, it's Paul from Callaway Cooking here, and yes, I'm juggling apples in order to try and get you interested in watching this video. Today, I'm going to make for you, yep, you guessed it, a simple, quick, and easy 6-ingredient recipe for apple crisp. Stay tuned. Okay, so what we're going to be using today is we're going to be using a combination of Honeycrisp apples and Granny Smith apples. So the Granny Smith apples are great. They have a real strong tart taste to them, and they also have a very firm texture, which is going to work well in this dish. We also have your Honeycrisp, which is the gold standard for apples. They got a little sweetness to them, and they've also got a little tart component to them, and they've also got that firm texture. You don't want an apple that's too sweet, and you don't want an apple that has a soft flesh to it, because it's just going to end up mushy as you bake it longer and longer. Plus, you're going to get your sweetness from the toppings. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take probably 10 to 12 of these apples, mid-range size. We're going to peel them, we're going to core them, we're going to chop them, and we're going to get them into a buttered 9x13 baking dish. So let's go ahead and get that process started. Okay, so nothing too complicated here. We're just going to start to peel our apples. Peel them and core them and chop them. Once you get these guys all peeled and chopped, you can really dice these up any way you want to. Some people like to cut them into thin apple slices and layer them, almost like a lasagna. Me, I like to do the bite-sized chunks. I just like the consistency of it. I like the way you get to scoop it. All right, get that out of here. Okay, so now we're going to take the apple core. We're going to push it right down through the center. Give it a little twist. Pull it out. Pop the core right out. This thing is fantastic, by the way. If you don't have one, I recommend it. Now we're just going to give our apple a little chop here. Like I said, you can cut these any way you want to. Just so long as the size is relatively consistent. That in the pan, and we'll just go through here and we'll get the rest of these apples done. Look at that. All right, enough bragging. Back to corn. All right. Close that off. Okay, as you can see, we've got all of our apples chopped up here. So now I'm just going to sprinkle in a little bit of cinnamon. Get the top of this nice and covered, because we're going to mix it throughout all the apples. Let's just give it that nice warm cinnamon flavor. And also too, we're going to give it a little pinch of salt. Salt is a very funny thing. It's very important. It's not just for flavor. Salt is actually very critical when it comes to sweet dishes. Not necessarily for its salty taste, but because the actual sodium chloride in salt not only blocks bitterness, but it kind of enhances your tongue's ability to taste sweetness. So whatever you have that's a little bit sweet, if you add a little pinch of salt to it, it's going to make it that much sweeter and that much more delicious. If you don't believe me, the next time you're looking down the barrel of a freshly baked chocolate chip cookie or a brownie, take a little pinch of sea salt and put it on top of it and have a bite. And you can thank me later. So now that we got our cinnamon, a little sprinkle of salt in there, we're going to get this mixed up. Get back in there. There we go. These guys trying to jump ship. They know what's going on, so they're trying to leave, but I'm not going to let them. All right. That just mixed. Get the cinnamon distributed. All right. So now we got our apples. I kind of pound them down in a little bit of a flat layer here. And now it's time to work on our topping. Okay, now we are ready to make our crumble. So this is going to be the crisp part of the apple crisp, and this is by far the most delicious part. Very simple, just a couple ingredients, okay? First, we're going to start, we have 1.5 cups of flour here. I just use regular AP flour. Put that in our bowl. We have 2 cups of sugar. That's right, 2 cups of sugar. There's nothing healthy about this recipe. This is not keto friendly. This is not vegan friendly. This is not anything friendly. That's what makes it so tasty. So we'll put in our 2 cups of sugar. We're going to put in 1 cup of chilled butter. I like to cut it up into cubes because we got to work it all together. Don't use warm butter for this. When it melts, it's going to turn it more into a dough than it will a crumble. So we'll go ahead and put that in. All right, get in there. All right. And then oats. Oats provide some crisp and stuff like that. There's a lot of debate as to whether to use rolled oats or steel cut or natural or whatever. But for an apple crisp, the best thing you should do for oats is take them and put them right back into the container from they came from, put them back into your pantry, and use them for oatmeal, which is where they belong. Stop putting oats into apple crisp. This is, of course, just my opinion, but please stop putting oats into things. They don't belong in apple crisp. They don't belong in cookies. They belong in breakfast cereal. There's plenty of fiber in this dish if you get my drift. Okay, let's start to mix this thing. All right, let's get this mixed. Now, where is my pastry cutter? Thank you, thing. Oh, all right, beat it. Okay, so I like to use a pastry cutter for this in the initial stages. It just sort of helps to work everything together. If you don't have one of these guys, don't worry about it. Just use your hands and bring it all together. But for the first few stages of this, we're just going to use this pastry cutter, and if you've got a appropriately sized bowl, that helps as well. That's it. So we're just going to cut this butter in here. And again, it's important to use chilled butter when working with these types of things. You'll find the same thing with pie crusts and just other types of crusts, that you always want to use chilled butter. If it's melted when you put it in there, it's going to end up with a chewy, kind of non-crispy texture to it. Okay, as you can see here, I've switched to my hands. Once it's been worked in a good amount, you can get rid of that pastry cutter and just start to massage it a little bit with your hands. It's so tense, it needs a massage. We're just going to bring all this together. At the end of it, when it's ready to go, it's going to resemble kind of like a clumpy wet sand. So let's see, we're just about there right now. We'll just give it just a little bit more. Please don't mind the squeaking of the gloves there. Okay, let's see. If I crumple it up into a ball and it sticks, yeah, I would say that's a good crumble. All right, let's apply this to our apples. All right, let's go ahead and put this whole thing together. We'll take our crumble, spread it out, really press it in there. Oh, what am I being so shy for? There we go. Put that on. You want to just bring this out to the edges. Get all the apples covered, give them their little blanket. Those down in there. There we go. This is going to make a nice thick crust on top, and man, oh man, is this going to be good once it comes out of the oven. So we're going to put this into about a 350-degree oven, and you're going to leave it in there until it starts bubbling around the edges. Probably about, it's about an hour in my oven. It obviously depends on your oven and the cook time on it. So there, that's pretty as a picture, isn't it? So we'll get this into the oven, and we'll see you guys in about an hour. Thank you. Official test for doneness. Yep, that's exactly what we want right there. Nice and crispy. Alright guys, well there you have it. You got your hot apple crisp with a nice scoop of vanilla ice cream on top. You just can't be beat, not especially for a fall day. So I want to thank you for coming and checking out this video today. If you get anything out of this video today, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. It just helps me to keep going with these videos. And if you have anything that you'd like to suggest, please leave us a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks. Have a great day. Remember, this is Paul from Callaway Cooking. If you love people, cook for them. Thank you.